that want it, homie. I keep it 100, never front it. While you stunning, acting like you hate it, but really want it.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the channel.
What up?
Welcome, Sheiv. Holy shit. I put up the intro not knowing if Sheiv was going to make it in time. He popped up right as it started going.
Right in time. Right in time.
That's hilarious. All right. But anyway, welcome to the Best Guard Boner. This is Green Bear. Let me get everything just right here. Hold up. Where's my mouse?
Me too, right?
Whoop. There we go.
The struggles.
All right.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Now I'm like too white, but that's all right. Sour cream
I
today, people.
I go through it all the time, bro. All the time. But anyway, man, we got Sheiv probably for about an hour. If you don't know who he is, check the banner. I'm actually prepared this stream.
That's what's up, my guy. Hey, but nice videos, by the way, recently. You've been killing it, my guy. You've been killing it.
She's grinding, man. I'm gonna do another one tonight. We can't stop, won't stop.
That's what's up. All right, what do we got on the plate for today, my dude?
Since I don't know how long I got you, what we're gonna do is I want to talk about Moon Knight finale first for the least amount of time as possible.
Hey, whoa. I think there's some time. I think there's even some crossover with the other thing that we're going to talk about, and then maybe even, Thor potentially too. So I'm down to sit in that a little bit, but obviously
all right.
the big thing to talk about here is Doctor Strange.
I'll say what I'm thinking first, then we'll see what you got on your mind. You might have more to say than me.
Let's do it.
I literally have in my notes here, be brief.
Oh.
But
rough. I know. I did think you weren't a big fan. That's at least the vibe I got from you.
No, I mean, it was like it was to me. It was an average, good show for Marvel. Definitely, if it's winning any awards, it's for just the acting job that Oscar Isaac
did a great job.
Carried the whole show. Honestly,
I felt like there was definitely a lot of good acting all over the show, but
I mean, not enough to carry. Like, I mean, I'm not saying there's bad actors.
No. Obviously, Oscar was playing friggin' like 3 different characters in the show.
It was insane. Man.
Yeah,
he was basically doing like Eddie Murphy in the Nutty Professor, but with no makeup, like the whole time. It was pretty sick. But no, yeah, it was good. It was fun. It didn't blow me away. And then we got all the way to the finale. Honestly, I think I put it in like my last video going up to the finale. Like, I was pretty much predicting what was going to happen each show right before it happened. And then we got to like episode 5 and I'm like, where the hell are we now?
What the hell?
Yeah. So that's where I think I like messed up my stride. But then we got through it. I was honestly a little bit pissed because I got no Jake mentions, and then that post-credit scene came, and I'm like,
"What do you mean there are no Jake mentions? They're all over the show."
You know what I mean? Like no, like official.
I know what you're saying, and it was very, very pleasing getting that post-credit scene with him. It was like, God. Thank God.
That was just like.
I thought I was going crazy the way that they were teasing it out, and they're like, I'm like, where the hell is it? Am I the one losing my mind?
Yeah, honestly, I think it sets up Khonshu to be the big bad going forward too. So that could they're leaning on those comics heavy too. So that's what's fun about it.
Yeah, I think there was even. I mean, granted, I'm the Star Wars guy here, but I think
that's just what your channel is. You're the everything guy.
I think there was a rumor. I don't know how like true it is or whatever, but I think the director of the Moon Knight show said that he was thinking of putting Gore the God Butcher in at one point with all the God kind of storylines and stuff, and that basically they didn't end up doing it or whatever, but it kind of makes sense too, the way that all the other gods in the show died. Like, it would have made sense if they threw in Gore the God Butcher there in the end, or maybe, what if the end post-credit scene was originally supposed to be Gore the God Butcher coming to kill Amit and what's his name, Harrow, instead of Khonshu and Jake. But then, seeing Khonshu and Jake was perfect too. But
yeah, honestly, those Egyptian gods went out like chumps, bro. I'm glad the Wakandan one wasn't there because. But let's take a second, say what up to Mikey Porter, Jared Dyer. I see you rolling in. I think
Omi-Wan.
Omi-Wan.
That's what's
Streets ain't talking besides these guys, but thanks for popping in, even if you're lurking.
Much love.
Yeah, man. But yeah, what were you saying here with the Multiverse of Madness? You seeing something I'm not seeing?
You saying connection to it, or just
Yeah.
it was more the Gore the God Butcher thing with
Oh, okay.
with Thor: Love and Thunder. I just
Yeah.
was thinking of Multiverse of Madness still. um,
All good, all good.
I don't know though. There could be some tie-ins to that eventually or something. I think
You know,
we're getting a lot more multiverse going forward. I think.
yeah, like spoiler alert for my next video, it's gonna be about Young Avengers. And I'm going through it, doing my research for my script, and I'm thinking about, I'm like, damn, Moon Knight is the only live action show we've had so far without a Young Avenger in it. And it's like, what the hell? Like I mean, you'll see my video tomorrow, but like every
Falcon
other
and
live
Winter
action video,
Soldier.
the Patriot, Isaiah Bradley's grandson.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, man. Every other live action Disney Plus show we got from Marvel has a Young Avenger in it. I mean,
Interesting.
I say live action because What If was its own category. It doesn't even fall under
Yeah.
it, but it's basically the Bad Batch of Marvel.
Who knows?
better.
Maybe there's
No.
a Moon Knight personality, or what's it called? The personality is not the right word. I keep saying that, but maybe there's one that is a kid.
Right? Yeah, I don't know, man. But that struck me. I was just thinking about, I'm like, damn, how are you gonna go on this trend and then just whatever, who cares? It's over. But
Yeah.
I think
I
that
mean,
could end up being
even the movies in their own right,
Yeah.
I'm not Shang-Chi or maybe the Eternals.
No, so
She doesn't have her powers though, does she?
Oh, Sprite, you thinking
Yeah.
of? Yeah, I think she's human now.
Okay.
I think the only one was Multiverse of Madness. So
Well, it's Spider-Man. He could be the leader. I mean, he's probably going to Ultimates, but
he's in college now, bro.
Maybe Miles Morales.
Yeah, maybe. Depends what kind of twist they do on it. We'll see. But I don't know, man. So what do you think in the chat? You want us to stop talking about the show and start talking about Multiverse of Madness? I think this could be one of those shows though where if they pick up the second season, which it sounds like they might, I'm not sure.
They should, man. I liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool going through.
Well, I was gonna say I think season 2 could probably be way better than season 1.
Yeah,
just because we've gotten the.
That's the thing. People will like, talk crap about some of the MCU shows, or like saying they're not as good as the movies and whatnot. It's like, I think that a lot of them are setting up for stuff that's coming later though, and like there's probably gonna be second seasons for most of them.
Wrong way. I got to get you this app for that cam, man.
Yeah, you do.
I'll find it. But yeah, man, what's Omi saying? You think they put America?
I think she's either being set up for Young Avengers or Ultimates, like same with Spider-Man or Miles Morales or whatever they end up doing with those characters.
Yeah, America Chavez can be multiple things.
Yeah.
But I think definitely going to be a Young Avenger in some facet, some shape.
She's young enough to, I mean, that actress is what, 16? Like I found that out. I was like, what the hell? Like, can you imagine being a 16-year-old in the MCU, bro?
I was just looking her up because I wanted to make sure I didn't mess up her name. So Xochitl Gomez.
She did a great job.
Yeah, man. Awesome job. That was like she didn't screw it up. That's the number one thing you want to do. Come in as a young kid.
Yeah.
No, I think I was into it, man. I was vibing this whole good segue into it. Thank you, Obi-Wan. Yeah. Get us off Moon Knight.
Yeah, real quick before we do kind of segue out of her. I think Anthony Mackie used to be an acting coach for her too, which is a nice little hint or like nod there, and maybe even how she got recommended for it or whatever, But that's kind of cool.
Got all these Cali connections, figuring out all this stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, man, that big things coming down the pipe from this movie. But going through it, we could finally actually talk about it with some spoilers.
Spoiler warning for everybody that hasn't seen the movie, but we're diving full in here.
Yeah, and it's gonna get super spoily. Like we saved like a whole 50 minutes for it. But no, man, honestly, movie was like an absolute like thrill ride for me. Could talk about some of like the bloodiness of the gore, and I think that's really where people are getting like the horror aspect of it. Like, we saw a little blood, saw some heads explode.
Oh, dude, it wasn't even just the bloodiness and gore though. I mean, Sam Raimi totally brought his like Evil Dead or whatever like straight into it. The way the camera worked, it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see it twice too, Mike Porter. I gotta go see it
I
again.
did see it the second times already, so there were
Nice.
definitely things I noticed or like thought about the second time that I just like. There's just so much in this movie, and you just think
Yeah.
about so many different things that can come out of it, especially if you know like kind of the Secret Wars kind of storyline and stuff. Like,
Absolutely.
it's freaking incredible what they're doing.
Yeah, man. Like, this is honestly what we've been like leading up to this movie. The whole argument with the MCU right now has been like, we don't have a North Star anymore. You know, it was Thanos from the get go. Like ever since like what the Avengers, maybe just before it. So like, what direction are we heading in? And it's just kind of been like a little void in all these little new projects that came out.
Yeah, a lot of people wondering if there's anything left for the MCU or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and they was sleeping on him. They was sleeping on my boy Feige. But nah, man, it's coming out and talking about incursions the way they did was like a clear like solidification of like, all right, this is where we're going. Buckle up, you know. I guess it was like they're probably still making up their minds on who they want like the main villain.
I was gonna ask who you think they're setting up to be the main person for Secret Wars, because obviously, if you know the comics, you know that Doctor Doom is the main Secret Wars guy, but it could be Kang, kind of the way they're setting it up. And I personally would rather it still be Doctor Doom, just because that story is so iconic and just I don't know, it needs to be Doctor Doom for me, but. If it's Kang, I think it works. You know, I think they have already kind of sewed the needles or started to thread the needles for that. You know,
you don't want it to be Wong, Mike Porter. I think you're fine. But no, I mean, I've been thinking about it. I got my own little theory going. I think maybe because you're building up Kang, and we haven't got Doom yet. We need a little bit more time for him. Although. I got a feeling we get a tease about him after Black Panther, like post credits. Somewhere in there, he fits in the mold.
Well, yeah, Quantumania is the next thing we know for sure he's going to be in, right?
No, I'm talking for Doom. Did I say King? My bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, for Doom, I think I did hear at one point Black Panther 2 was maybe his introduction, which kind of would make sense with the Latveria thing. Heck, people were speculating, you know, Moon Knight, back to that, you know. There's a castle in like the second episode or first episode that he's like running by after he wakes up after, you know, getting out of consciousness from another persona. And it's just like people were speculating maybe that's Latveria and maybe that's Doctor Doom's castle and everything. And I was like, I hope.
I was reading something earlier how like all the Kang stuff I was finding, like they actually at one point they wanted to put Kang in the show like as Ramatut. So that would have been cool.
Yes,
too, but I think where we're headed is maybe we got to get Doom quick, you know, because Josh over at Den of Nerds is saying he thinks it's going to take a long time to build up to Secret Wars. I disagree wholeheartedly. Like it took so long to get us to like Endgame because we were only doing like 4, 5, 6 pictures a year. Doing like 11 now, plus all the Disney Plus shows.
Well, they're setting up more stuff outside of just Secret Wars too. And to your point, I do think it'll happen quicker. Like 10 years for the Thanos thing, like they needed to do it right. That I mean, it all starts with an idea. You know, the first Avengers movie, like that kind of was whole Kevin Feige setup. I don't think he ever really thought at one point that he would get to this point where, I mean, the movies are practically like the comics now, the way that it expands, and all these different movies are part of the same universe. And no other thing has really done that other than like Star Wars. And I feel like this is way more expansive than Star Wars has ever even been canon wise and like for movie and television. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't even remember what we were talking about originally, just because I'm thinking about all the freaking Secret Wars possibilities. But I think 5 years is probably like the timeline that we're talking about here, and it's already probably a year or two into it.
Yeah, we're talking. Who's gonna be the big bad for Secret Wars? I honestly think you can do like in the way that like they had the whole Beyonders and all these cosmic like entities in Secret Wars. I don't think the public's like ready for that yet. I don't think normies like all into that. I don't even know if I am, to be honest with you. I think it goes a little bit.
I think they were testing the waters with it with stuff like Eternals. Not so much Shang-Chi. I think Shang-Chi, like, you know, they're testing other stuff with that movie and whatnot. But I think Eternals was really a big test for the cosmic entity kind of stuff, seeing the cosmic entities and everything. So it's like,
I mean, people want it, but just I don't know if we were ready to get that deep. That's a little crazy.
I mean, it was pretty wild seeing that in Eternals, just the tidbit stuff that we got, but I can't wait to see it. And I do think a little bit here and there, they're kind of adding that kind of stuff in, and with the incursions and everything. Like, I mean, we got to start diving in on this because there's just so much to talk about in it. Like, incursions were the big thing here with the Secret Wars. Like, if you know the Secret Wars story, you know how big incursions are. And I was trying to think about today, like, what could have maybe started the incursions in the first place. And
listening to Rob, right?
Well, yes, I was, and I think he's missing part of the puzzle piece, or he like ignored a part of the movie, because to me it seemed like one of the main things that could cause an incursion. Maybe this is just what their Illuminati thought, or the what 873, or what was the universe?
838.
838. Okay,
yep.
So the 838 Illuminati, I think at one point said that if maybe it was their Christine Palmer that said it, but if you stay too long in another universe, it'll cause an incursion, right?
Right.
So I was trying to think about the Loki show, and I think it's possible. There's an episode I remember where Sylvie set up these like bombs, right? Or like all the stuff, and it goes off. And I feel like we never got a solution to that. It kind of just was like there, and then the next episode, there was never an explanation as to how they corrected that, right?
Oh, because she like erased that one. Well,
she set off like 100 of them, and it like all of a sudden the timeline was like and we never got any other like mention of that until the end of the show when the same thing was happening. Yeah. And I was wondering, what if when that happened, the timeline broke and all of a sudden they were in a new timeline that was separate from the one where it was broken?
I definitely got a feeling something in that show,
and that's probably how it all started. And then at the end, when he gets back to the TVA, he's in another universe, because the multiverse at that point has broken out from Kang's hold on him.
Yeah, that show's got us all fucked up right now. Like we need a second season just to explain some more stuff.
There is going to be one, right? Like, so I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I started thinking about it, and like maybe Rob has a point that they don't have all the answers, but at the same time with the Loki thing, she probably never caught, like, maybe that's because the timeline and the multiverse was kind of contained by Kang, but she was just never really in a certain timeline for very long. She was moving around a lot. So like that was part of the reason they never got alerted. But I was thinking, like, how can an incursion happen and like whatnot? And basically I'm like, well, these timeline branches could be the incursions, and once it hits a point, and the incursion's happening, and there's no like kind of stopping it,
or when they
unless you destroy the world, which is what they do by the pruning, and that's destroying the world. And so
that's right. You're on to something now.
That's what this is how I was thinking about it. And so I'm like thinking, like, what if this is how the incursion started, because they couldn't stop all of those branches when she set off that bomb. And so they went into a new universe, and they never even knew that happened when they got back to the TVA. Because I mean, that's probably what they were doing, is like the multiverse maybe existed, and I don't know if he did control the whole thing, or if he just controlled a portion of these multiverses that were all he was controlling the timeline by pruning them and such. But I don't know the full details. Obviously, I'm just speculating. But that's
we need to get Kang on the show right now. Like, Kang, you listening? Like,
tell us your plan, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, get on the stream. Give me like some kind of idea.
See, so Omi-Wan says, did the timeline break when He Who Remains was killed, or when Wanda achieved Scarlet Witch status? I think they happen at the same exact point in their finales, respectively. Like, literally, that was
true. They had it was,
and I don't think it was Wanda. I think a lot of people thought that initially, but what does she do other than cast runes? That's not going to break the multiverse. I mean, maybe becoming the Scarlet Witch does something, but I don't think that's going to break the multiverse. In my opinion, is whatever happened with Loki. And that's the whole, I mean, we get all the timelines and the, breaking it apart. So Feige said they're planning 10 years of movies in the theaters. So does that mean anywhere between 30 to 40 movies and about 40 Disney Plus shows? Holy cow, that's a lot. Loving it. MCU rules. It
Incursion.
does. Oh my gosh.
Bottoms up. But,
So I take it you've read the Secret Wars comics, or like have heard them, or gone through them.
I got it. Actually, I'm like in the process of like rereading, just since like it's so much, man. Like this is they've gotta kind of somehow condense that whole story and get us there quicker. Not only just because,
or just like put it all in one novel.
Yeah, they got to get to the next thing because like we're kind of we're losing that spice we had like from the Infinity Saga. People are already talking. I mean, Multiverse of Madness helped a little bit, but even that's a little bit polarized. We're almost in Star Wars territory with it. Seeing some of the things people are saying,
Yeah.
But no, I think it's gonna be something like Kane causes it, and then Doom finishes it. I think you got to stick with Doom for like Battleworld.
I would love that. That's what I was thinking today too. Like maybe Kang is the one that starts it, and like you said, Doom finishes it. That would be the perfect way to do it, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Because technically, since the one who remains is gone, right? Like that was the only one that could win out of all the Kangs. So maybe you need a Doom to best out of these Kangs now.
Maybe,
right?
I mean, if the multiverse is just collapsing, because it could be at this point, we really don't know. That's the thing. Like, as much as Doctor Strange tells us and it sets up for Secret Wars, we really don't know. Diddly squat.
we're getting Mike Porter drunk now.
Incursions.
But nah, man. So what did I? Damn, she's spitting tonight.
There's just so much to talk about with it, man. There really is.
Fire. Yeah, dude. So, oh my god, Secret Wars. We can sit here and talk about like literally the whole entire stream because this is like, honestly, like before I started really diving deep over the past couple of years, like my only experience with Secret Wars was more like the 1984 like kind of version of it, but the version that was translated into the 90s Spider-Man show.
Yeah, so the OG one.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna borrow parts of that and use the Hickman one.
So you think they're gonna do both?
I don't know about both, but like I think the Hickman one is just so much more complex that it's impossible not to go like favor that one,
Okay.
But like the shooter one is just it's basic and
so I'm wondering what if they do, with the multi parts of Infinity War Endgame and different things like that. Could they do like an Avengers or Ultimates or whatever they end up doing, a Young Avengers and an Avengers movie? Maybe that both are like different parts to the movie that are like, part 1 and part 2 of Avengers and Young Avengers, and then like Ultimates, which is like the third part. Like, let's say they do something like that, just like the comics.
I mean, maybe that's why we're making all these different teams.
Yeah, and then like a Secret Wars Part 1 and Secret Wars Part 2, whatever that end up being, and maybe one of those parts has the OG kind of story, and the second part ends up being the Doctor Doom Hickman kind of run.
Yeah. When are we gonna see OP Franklin Richards? I think we're getting ahead of ourselves on that one, man. It'd be cool.
Well, we didn't get a name drop, but we got the confirmation that Reed Richards in the 838 has children, and obviously we all go to Franklin, and it just, oh man, I cannot wait.
I mean, see, it's crazy like how many parts of this movie people are like zoning in on, because like you listen to some YouTubers, they're like laser focused on that, like, oh, he's got a family, and then there's the other people talking about just the fact that like this 838 universe never got snapped, like they beat him before he snapped, like they were better than all of us, but just got their asses kicked.
And the fact Reed was there, and as smart as Tony is, like, and he can do like so many different things at once compared to Reed Richards, who's probably better at focusing in on a single thing. Like Reed Richards, clearly in that 5-year span, not having to deal with the aftermath of the snap and everything, created a much more utopian world than Tony Stark did.
Right. Yeah, and but when I was in the theater, like what got me going nuts was just that line when he first meets Krasinski's Reed Richards, and he's like, "Fantastic Four, and you guys chart in the '60s," and I'm like, And my head went straight to that New Rockstars video where they're talking all about Peyton Reed and his initial like film idea for Fox was going to be in the 60s. I'm like, no, you didn't just do that. Like, what? It's like, it's happening, you know?
Yeah. It's also a funny nod to the fact that they like, reference boy bands and stuff like that throughout Marvel too,
Yeah. But it's just like, that's so coincidental. Like,
yeah.
even if they don't go with Peyton Reed, I love the idea of them just like grabbing them from the 60s and just like transporting them through time somehow by accident to get to us. Like, that would make so much sense. That's how we get them, I mean, you couple that in with maybe like the X-Men. Like we've been exploring this idea of maybe Xavier's just got everybody tricked right now because he can control minds. Maybe he's got his own kind of, not a spell, but like.
Come on, bro. Wanda snap that. Wanda snap that fool's neck real quick.
Yeah, how
quickness.
Let's get on to the point where we're like. How like just amazing was it to watch her just decimate that whole like I'm sitting here thinking to myself like it's Suicide Squad all over again and I love it. Like
I never saw the newer Suicide Squad, but that's
it's that for the first 20 like minutes. It's hilarious. They show you like what you think is
I did hear going in that Wanda was likely going to kill the Illuminati, and I was like, well, this should be fun.
I honestly didn't believe it. I didn't believe how OP she was gonna be, and then you start seeing it, and it's like, oh, wait a minute.
It was funny. Like I heard some leaks for it, and like I honestly didn't even think most of them were true, or like I was like, that'd be cool if it happens. All right, I'm kind of open to it, and like I kind of forgot about them because I stayed away from them for the most part. But like going in, I'm like, oh, she's gonna kill him and stuff. And then like I remember seeing that second preview or the preview that had Captain Carter and Maria Rambeau. And I was like, is she gonna kill Captain Carter? And we get to the movie, I'm like, oh, she's gonna wreck all of them.
She took out Captain Carter like Ultron took out Thanos, and like,
bro. And you see Black Bolt, and she's just like, what mouth? I was like, bro.
That was amazing.
What?
That was absolutely like, why would you tell her this is how he's gonna like? Come on.
I also like. I want to touch on this real quick because I feel like it hasn't been debated enough on the internet, but I don't know if it was Black Bolt's screech that killed him or Wanda. Because obviously his mouth got, magically sewed shut.
It was his
people
own
were
screech.
trying to say it was his screech, but I low-key see some chaos magic in his mouth when his freaking face blows up.
Yeah. I'm going to see it my second time, so I'm gonna have to look at it again.
I'm just saying. A lot of people have been saying they think it's because of his screech, and for sure it might have been. I'm not saying it wasn't, and maybe that's why his head imploded. But I'm just saying it looked like there was some chaos magic going on in his mouth.
Let's talk about this. The whole fight goes down. Everybody gets eliminated. Immortal just gets stuck in like a little.
I read that as Mando got stuck. I can't lie.
Yeah, Mordo's like, hey, can somebody get me out of here?
Mordo is just always a bum in every universe. What a guy.
Yeah, like, where is the Mordo from 616?
I think we'll see him eventually. I don't know if you remember this, but the first Doctor Strange movie, the post-credit thing ends with it saying Dormammu will return. Well, Dormammu didn't return in this, but they definitely set up the Dark Dimension to come back at the end of the movie. So
for sure, it's got to be where we're going. Just don't know what the hell is going to happen. But
oh yeah, what do you think of that Benedict Cumberbatch Dormammu theory? Have you heard it?
I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. It does. The one piece that they're all neglecting to tell us is like Dormammu is like fucking ancient, right? He's not just like some new guy that came up on the scene 10 years ago. So they're saying like they found a Doctor Strange like from way back when that was born earlier or something. Like,
nah, bro. I mean,
that just doesn't add up to me.
Come on, man. Think of What If Strange and how he's probably gonna live forever in that little bubble if he stays in there. Like he's that powerful that he's gonna
different atmosphere.
But that's what I'm saying though. It's like he has enough power from absorbing all these freaking creatures and stuff that he's destroyed his entire reality, and B, gonna probably live in that bubble unless, you know, the Beyonder says, hey, I need your help.
I'm not saying he can't get powerful enough if he became
Well, so
like
the theory for
Dormammu.
anybody that's confused is that Benedict Cumberbatch, originally there was going to be a voice for Dormammu, and then they basically ended up going with Benedict Cumberbatch to play the voice of the Dormammu, and maybe even the likeness. I don't know, but Benedict Cumberbatch is both Doctor Strange and Dormammu, and with the whole multiverse stuff and how there's different what's it called, versions of you, I guess you could say. It's possible Dormammu is just a variant of Doctor Strange, which it sounds ridiculous, but when you think of it, like it sets up in this movie that almost every Doctor Strange or all the Doctor Strange throughout the multiverse are kind of power hungry in a way. They can, which even in the comics, he's a little bit like that at times too. And it seems as though they set up for him to kind of want ultimate power or want this power. So it's possible at some point one of the Doctor Stranges throughout the multiverse, or maybe in the 616 or whatever, in a different timeline, who knows, could have got enough power that he ended up becoming the ruler of the dark dimension, or lord of the dark dimension, which is Dormammu.
Oh, what up, Abby?
Crazy theory. What's up, Abby?
No, yeah.
What up,
I'm not saying that he couldn't become Dormammu and like be all powerful. I'm just saying if he did, it's impossible. Like Dormammu has been around for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So sure. How did Doctor Strange show up like thousands of years ago to become? That's what I'm saying. That's where the theory gets broken in my eyes.
I mean,
that's what I think.
He kind of makes the. I don't know, man. I think it can make sense. It just the MCU does all sorts of crazy stuff, and that's where you're gonna you know, draw the line on the craziness.
Yeah.
No.
I call that Mike Zero reaching. That's what I call it right there.
Oh, boo.
Nah, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. It's happened many times.
It's a reach. I'm not saying it's not. It's just fun speculation.
I don't know what the hell they're doing, to be honest with you. Like
that, I mean, it's interesting that they brought in the chick at the end. What's her? I'm terrible with MCU names, and I can't think of anything right now. But who was the chick that came in at the end? The post-credit scene?
Clea,
thank you. Because she is the niece of Dormammu too.
Yeah, so Doctor Strange had a chance to have a sister that birthed, like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's gonna be
and
they get married.
They did talk about how there's a kid. He had a sister.
So this is his sister. He marries this chick in the comics.
That's what I'm saying. It's all weird.
But
who knows? Who knows?
We're full on Game of Thrones now. Like,
except it's his own niece.
I don't know, man. I don't even know what I was about to say. No, so the other thing that had me thinking about in this movie, right, is Wanda destroyed the Darkholds across every universe, but Strange has got a photographic memory, and he's read the Darkhold.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought this up.
So Strange is the Darkhold.
That is why he has the third eye at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
You're telling me this fool has a photographic memory, and he didn't, read through the book when he was in that other dimension, the one that was falling apart.
Can't even help himself. I don't know. The question is, does that make him bad, or does that make him more balanced? I don't know. Like,
I think it's going to corrupt him at some point. But throughout, this is my favorite part of the fact that they set up Secret Wars in this movie. In Secret Wars, Doctor Strange tries to give up his soul, basically. It's not really what he's trying to do. He's trying to get ultimate power to basically stop the incursions from happening. And so he goes to these dudes to try and basically sell his soul to get 100% of absolute power. And they tell him, nah, you can't. You don't have all of your soul. They're like, you've already sold off a good chunk of your soul, doing dark magic, doing stuff like that. And so he goes to Wong at some point throughout the Secret Wars story and basically to ask him, he's like, dude, like, am I still a good person? Like, I tried to give up like 100% of my soul for 100% of power. And Wong's like, nah, you're not a good person. It's like you have good intentions, or you're not a good person.
I mean, I can relate to Strange in that. You know how many times I'm like, hey, am I an asshole? What about, did you catch your Mustafar? Did you catch your background in this movie?
Um, I did. Yeah, I was wondering there's one part where America Chavez like learns to use her powers, and she punches one of the universes open, and it looks like she's about to push Wanda straight into the lava of Mustafar. I was like, do it.
I'm not even like totally sold or understanding where they're even going with her power in this movie, like in this
America?
franchise. Yeah, like what else is she gonna be able to do here? Because it seemed like in that last scene where she was fighting,
she's the bridge between the multiverse at the moment. She's the only person that can travel from universe to universe.
But when you saw her punching back against Wanda, like that was like,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know like what her power does other than punching through the multiverse, but it seems like she gives her a little bit of a power up punch, maybe.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Like she's a cool character. I really don't, I have no problem with
like
character.
A tiny star in your chest. It's like, oh, no heart. See you later.
And I mean, along with the fact that there's so much like stuff in this movie and so many details, like honestly, maybe this is gonna sound stupid or ignorant, but I love the fact that nobody's talking about how her parents are moms, or like she has, two moms. I love that no one's talking about that. I mean, there's people talking about how it's cool she has the LGBTQ pin and everything,
right?
And how she is an LGBTQ QT plus character and everything. They gotta like come up with a shorter acronym. I'm not trying to crap on
for real. I was telling somebody the other day, and I'm like, I don't know,
but I love that no one's talking about that. Like it's I feel like that's a good thing because it is
different state of the world.
It's cool. It's cool. It makes sense. I actually I want to know more about her reality. I can't wait till she hopefully does find her parents one day, or we get to see more of her story, because I think she was a really cool addition to the MCU. I love the fact that she's even learning how to use the power of the Vishanti, or the Vishanti magic that Doctor Strange uses. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of cool setup with her character, and obviously, you talked about you don't know where they're going with their powers or where with her character and whatnot. I don't think any of us do at this point, but I'm excited to see it.
It's it got me kind of thinking like not about where her parents went, but just like what is she? Because obviously you gotta we're not thinking about that because we're all actually like everything's normal.
Too
now,
much stuff to think about.
Yeah,
but I feel like we're all just like Secret Wars.
So if we do really think about it, though, like she's got two moms. There's no sperm donor there. Where'd they get this kid? This only kid across the whole. You know what I mean?
That's. Like, I mean, I definitely thought about that too, but like at the same time, I was like, does it really matter?
I'm just wondering, like, what is she like?
Well, yeah, maybe her planet or world or universe is just like a certain one. The question I have too is, has she ever gone back to that? Because like, obviously she is a young kid and has probably been traveling throughout the multiverse trying to figure out what the heck her powers are. Well, yeah.
Oh my God, we need to connect America Chavez to Lucky the Pizza Dog. Best,
just have a pizza party.
Best duo ever.
Please. That would be awesome.
Wow. Give me a series based on that. Just
yeah, I'm in.
Oh, no. If they do Young Avengers, they just have like.
Now I want some goddamn pizza.
I finally had some Taco Bell again today. I was so happy. But we get a Young Avengers series, like there's some like talk between like Lucky's eating my pizza again, damn it. Like some throwaway line, bro.
That'd be dope. I'm for it. Yeah, I love the fact that they put that in there.
This fucking guy. Oh, Dan just got canceled.
It's all right. Join the club.
Oh, you heard? Damn, I was trying to be slick with it too. It's the first time I wasn't showing it off. Oh man, it's have I missed anything I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, so I was just gonna go through the Illuminati real quick.
Yeah, please.
So first off, Charles Xavier comes in that room, and instantly I'm teleported in my mind back to like just laying on my stomach, feet kicking up in the air, watching Saturday morning cartoons in my living room, my parents' house. Like that was what we did. You're a little bit younger, so you might not even understand.
No, I get it.
Every Saturday morning, you're at that TV screen at 8 in the morning. That's when the cool shit comes up. copyright shit. All right, but then Captain Carter, she's all right. I'm not gonna complain, but like, I mean, you saw how I reacted to the What If story, right? I'm like, all right, so this is basically the same exact character. It's just a female. Like, this isn't a different story. Like,
I liked I liked that it wasn't the Captain Carter from What If, or at least it doesn't seem to be. Because it still gives room for her to pop back up in other stories and stuff, or in What If. And maybe you don't like the character, but goddamn it, I do.
Captain Darth Maul Carter, she ain't coming back in this one. It's only
no, and that one was a little bit of a Carol Danvers, if you say.
Oh yeah. So we get into the next one, Maria Rambeau.
Didn't like her either, but I like the actress and I like Maria Rambeau.
Yeah,
but her and Captain Carter, I was like, I clapped when they died. It sucked that Black Bolt and Reed Richards died so quick and they got to live longer. It was like, oh, damn it.
Bro, the mystery character that was flying around that we were trying to figure out the whole time. Spoiler, it's her. But this damn Funko Pop doll of Sarah the whole time. How the hell did this character earn herself a Funko Pop? Because she stabbed the Darkhold?
I haven't seen the Funko, to be honest. Oh my gosh. So in the comics, she's actually Wong's love interest.
But not in this movie? Like,
yeah, she was. She was low key. Wong is like strung up in that scene, and she goes up to him, and there's a moment where she like touches his cheek and basically says goodbye, and that it can't be him that destroys it, and she sacrifices herself so that he doesn't have to, and destroys the Darkhold. Although obviously there's the copy on Wundagore, which he then ends up giving up, but I do think they were subtly hinting that was his love interest. Maybe even the 5 years when everyone was.
That's like her Dion Waiters moment, like coming off the bench for like not even 15 minutes for the whole game. And then she gets a Funko Pop based on that. I get it. You killed that Darkhold book.
Funko does some fun stuff, man.
But then your boyfriend right away just told her where the new book is. Like, let the Taurus die, man.
It'll be one of the $5 ones.
Just wild. That Funko Pop right there had me guessing wild theories. And I'm glad I didn't post. That's all I gotta say. Glad I didn't post that video.
Surprised they didn't make a Funko Pop of the MIT admissions lady.
She would have earned it. It was more influential, bro. She was trying to get those kids into school. She was trying to change the world.
Dion Waiters love.
All right. Anyway, moving on to the list. Black
Green
Bolt.
Cheese Richards. Oh man.
Black Bolt was kind of badass, done correctly.
Sick.
Like, why couldn't we get that?
I've never had a lick of interest in any of the Inhumans or Black Bolts, and then this movie, I was like, sign me up. This dude's freaking sick.
Exactly. Strange shits on all of them.
Sorry.
It's like that scene in the Illuminati was like, that was old Strange. That was what we were like missing. He's like, dude, he'd kill you in 10 seconds if he opens his mouth. It's like, what, with bad breath? Like, gingivitis.
that scene was, I don't know what was cooler, the I'm sorry scene or the what mouth scene. Probably the what mouth, just because that was like insane. But I don't know, man. Seeing Doctor Strange get obliterated like that was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, and then Mordo, Sorcerer Supreme, right? We already talked about him. Dude fell in a moat and he was out of the fight. Like that was it.
Bum.
His ending line is like, I can see why they don't like you.
Yeah, if Doctor Strange loves Christine in every universe, at least at this point, then Mordo is just an absolute bum in every universe.
Yeah, he goes to another universe. He's definitely not sipping tea with another Mordo. Right? I can tell you that much. It ain't happening. All right, and then the best for last, in my opinion, Krasinski as Reed Richards. I was like so nervous. Like, are they really gonna do it? Please do it.
So again, I stayed away from most of the leaks and stuff, and I had heard a long time ago that Krasinski was potentially going to be the role of Reed Richards. I gotta tell you, man, him and his wife Emily Blunt or whatever, like, I thought there was no chance. The way that they talked about the Marvel movies and stuff, like that was like, there's no way.
Now I'm looking
When I-
back
when-
thinking like she does want to do this. Like,
Dude, she has to. But like when I found that out, or like when I was watching this movie and Krasinski showed up as Doctor Strange, just teleported in, I blew my mind, man. Blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I remember a while ago I was wondering who all the Illuminati members were, and I felt like I kind of knew everybody, although I didn't know if Reed Richards was actually going to be in it or not. If it was going to be Black Panther, who else the last person was going to be in it, because we knew pretty much everybody else.
right.
And Black Bolt too. We didn't know about Black Bolt, or I didn't. I don't know if you did.
I'd heard some things, but I think the only one I was really up in the air about was Captain Marvel, Maria Rambeau, or I wanted Tom Cruise so bad as Iron Man.
Yeah.
I thought it made so much sense.
Yeah, I think I heard Josh talked about today how basically he was away shooting for other movies like Mission Impossible and Top Gun and whatnot. So maybe it makes sense why
would have
he
been
couldn't.
so sick to have him do it, but
I mean, they still could. They still could, and I love the fact. Again, as much as we got in this movie, there's so much that we didn't get, and like we don't know if there's a Tony Stark in the 838. We don't know if there's all this other stuff, and the fact that the multiverse is this wide open at this point. There's 73 other universes that America has alone been to, so maybe even more than that. Like, it's about to pop off, and back to bring it back to beginning of the stream and everything with the Loki show and whatnot. Like, I think it's possible. Again, all the different separations of the timeline, how that could have broken up the multiverse and everything. Damn it, I freaking forgot what I was gonna say. I'm like sitting on this thing that I was like thinking about, and I freaking keep forgetting it. I hate myself right now, but that's all right.
I mean, the one thing I'm thinking though is I'm looking through it, right?
Give it to me. Give me your thoughts, man.
The next movies we got coming out, right, are we got Thor, not going to be multiversal. We got
Quantumania is next year.
No, I don't know when.
The
that's
year after.
I think it's next year actually.
I thought it was 2023. Yeah.
Yeah, so next year. Yeah. So, but leading up to that, we got Thor, and then we have I probably should have left this up on my screen, but then I think the next one after that's Black Panther, and that's not until November.
I fucking remember what I was gonna say.
Go for it. I was filling. It was all
Loki. I believe is the first time we see variants and different things, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. And ever since, we've basically had a variant in every show or movie.
Not every show.
Well, Shang-Chi probably not.
Although I think we got What If right after Loki, right? No, we haven't got Dick for variants. All we got is Spider-Man and this.
Yes, we have Spider-Man. We had a variant of well, in Spider-Man 2, we also got a variant of Daredevil. We had a variant of what's his name? Kingpin and Hawkeye.
But they're not actually variants.
That counts as a variant because there is a yes. That other Marvel universe is a universe.
No, that's just like the actual MCU version of them.
But that means those other things are universes.
It's a variant to you and me, but it's in
those
their
are
world.
Universes still. The movie, all the other movies are universes, bro.
They didn't get pulled into there from another world. They're from there already.
But that's a universe in the MCU. It is. You're gonna tell me it's not? How else are they gonna explain it when they come like
that? Charlie Cox wasn't from like an actual universe. Got pulled into the 616. He's always been.
Well, no, obviously, and we know that from the boner because they gave us a huge boner in Wanda, and now we know for sure that was literally just a big boner.
Do we though?
Yes, because this is my point to all of that. I don't think the multiverse was broken in WandaVision until the end of the show.
I think the multiverse was broken.
And they were giving us a boner trying to be like, hey, you think that's Quicksilver? It's not. The multiverse is breaking with Loki, which is one of the next shows that comes out. Loki, we get all the variants ever since we've had variants in the MCU, pretty much.
I think straight up, and this might be another video coming up soon.
We're going to get a variant in Thor, too.
I don't got an assistant, so Stubby, I'm going to borrow yours. Go ahead, record. But no, legit, I think the multiverse has been broken ever since they went back in time to go get those stones and brought them back. because that's what allowed for Kang to get the technology in the future because he studied and loved Tony Stark so much.
Even though he's a Reed Richards descendant.
Oh yeah, you can like the connection, Iron Lad, bro. Like
I
he's
know, I'm
all about Tony Stark, and that hasn't been proven yet either.
What, that he's a Richards descendant?
Yeah, I don't think they actually like.
Come on, bro. They literally put Reed Richards in the movie.
Yeah, but they haven't. It's like it's a Jake Lockley thing. They haven't officially been like.
Oh my god, we all know the post-credit scene is coming.
I don't know what you're talking about. No idea. Agree to disagree. All right. Kingpin is not a variant.
He absolutely is a variant. And that's the only way I'll accept it.
Speaking of variants, because I'm gonna kick your ass out of here in 10 minutes because I want to make my videos too.
Do it.
I'm variant me's gonna probably pop off next week and finally get back and make some Star Wars business, I think. Because
nice.
It'll be what, a week
16 days
Kenobi?
until Kenobi, I believe.
Yeah, so Monday's probably when I drop
17. So 16 days until the first day of celebration, which is probably when I will see Kenobi.
Oh man. I tried to take off like that weekend too. Like I wanted to just take off Friday and I was just gonna stay up till 3:00. And my boss is like, nah, this guy's out that week. You can't do that. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, hey, he's like, what do you got going on? I'm like, I want to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's like, what? I'm like, I want to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'll just quit my job for Obi-Wan at that point.
I was like, Kenobi.
It's not worth it. If my boss is like, you can't take those days off for celebration, I'd be like, peace.
Yeah, that mortgage. Oh. It just makes me do funny things.
Oh, funny things.
All right, so what else? Did we miss anything here? I pronounced Xochitl Gomez's name correctly. We talked about incursions, talked about all the Illuminati members. We covered
what else
covered
is there to talk about? I think there's some other stuff I wanted to dive into with Doctor Strange and whatnot, but there's just too much in that movie, man.
Mikey Porter's gonna get mad if we don't at least talk about his girl, Miss Marvel. You know, she's legal too. He can have her. She's like 19, man. It's all good. What do we? Whoa! I saw as a sequels fan Hawks, and then like I'm not gonna highlight this anymore. No, I'm just
kidding. Same Hawks, same.
We will all watch your career. Yeah. I just can't wait for it to come out. I saw did you watch anything about the leaks for it? Because I stayed the hell away from it.
I was staying away. I'm actually like trying not to do as much Obi-Wan Kenobi leak stuff right now. Like when the other stuff ends up leaking out, I might cover it. I don't know. I've kind of been straying away from leak stuff a little bit lately, to be honest, in general. But I did end up hearing the ending leaks. And honestly, I kind of just heard it from the Den of Nerds to see his take, and his take made me mad. So I'm just like, you know what?
Mad.
Yeah, he's trying to get clicks. Let me just click off. But I did listen to it. That was really the only time I heard it, so it's not even like it's like fresh in my mind, and like I'm not even gonna remember it until the show comes out again. But if you want to touch on it, like we can. I don't
even want to go near it. I like legit seen his video.
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous what his video said, though. He's
his take on it, you mean?
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous.
There's some things like I just I watch pretty much all the league. I want everything I can get Multiverse of Madness just because like the theories. But like with Star Wars and this, I was just like, no, I don't want to know. I want to go and
I don't know.
Like, happy.
I got a hair up my butt recently that was like, you know, I didn't really want to get spoiled for Multiverse of Madness or Kenobi. And obviously I've dove into a little bit of the leak still because I am part of that culture and whatnot. And, you know, I get itchy. I want it. But I don't know, man. I definitely enjoyed the little John Krasinski thing because I wasn't expecting that, you know, and it was nice to have something that wasn't really like spoiled for me, I guess, you know. But that's the thing, like,
you know,
with Kenobi though too, and even with the spoiler that I heard for the ending or whatever, like There's for sure stuff in the show that could be considered like spoilers. And like, if you didn't know this or that character was going to be in it, it would probably be, surprising to you. But I think it all makes sense. Like when you go through the spoilers and like you look at everything that they give you, it's like again, we're not really getting into it here, but to explain kind of how I feel about it, like there's nothing really that spoils it for me. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing in it that's like, oh dang, I wouldn't have thought of that. That's mind blowing. Like and it doesn't need to be either. There doesn't need to be mind blowing stuff in Kenobi. Like there's probably a few scenes that are gonna melt our minds and make us really sad or make us really emotional as fans, but nothing that's like
Hello,
the multiverse is breaking. Like I don't know. Like that's why I feel like Josh was like a little ridiculous with his take, and I don't know if you even watched this take, but like I feel like fans are like expecting like the greatest thing since sliced bread or greatest thing ever, and it's like Kenobi doesn't need to be the greatest thing ever. Like giving us those characters, like us living in that world again, is the greatest thing ever. Like being able to have another Obi-Wan Kenobi story with Darth Vader, and like it doesn't need to be all about Darth Vader and Kenobi. Like it's ridiculous. Like it needs to be a good story, which I think it's gonna be a good story.
I think so too. You know what I will say? I looked at Theory's take on like the whole Cad Bane thing. Like
I didn't even click on it because I was like, this guy.
No, dude, it's like it's fun. He put like half the videos.
He has a lot of fun with this stuff, man. I gotta say, his early videos, I had a lot of fun watching Theory's early videos and stuff. But
the more I thought about it, I'm like, that would be freaking awesome.
It would be, man. And it sucks, like, in a way, because, like, talking about this how there's not mind-bending stuff. Like, at times, I think we can all admit, especially within the Star Wars fandom, we come up with ideas that are almost cooler or crazier than what Lucasfilm does most of the time. Yeah. And, like, I feel like there's a place for that, and, like, for sure, maybe they should hire more Star Wars fans that have crazy ideas, like Dave Filoni and whatnot. But then, like, Dave Filoni is like a one of a kind dude at the same time. But then you have people out there like Jon Favreau and Deborah Chow and people that can make these kind of movies and shows and put them together. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like they're starting to figure out the process. It's already taken a decade for them to get to this point.
Yeah, it's honestly, Star Wars should have been doing a lot of stuff MCU is doing like years.
I feel like they're trying to follow that kind of mold though, and like. I'm not saying they're making Star Wars MCU, but I feel like that's kind of the way that they're going in a way.
Yeah, they've got just so many more stories you can do, and the fan base is just so much bigger and richer than it is. Well, fan base, yeah. All right, but anyway, there's fan base is a lot more bitchy. That's what I meant to say. But no, it's it's not. Also, MCU hasn't done as much stuff to divide their fans too. So,
that's 100% what it is, and it's not even about dividing the fans. It's not like they're going into it trying to divide up the fans. It's just I feel like when they got Star Wars and purchased Lucasfilm, they wanted to try and bring new fans on instead of catering to the fans that they had. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is fine. Like that, I feel like they definitely brought in a lot of new fans. I think they did a good job of doing that, but at the same time, you still got to take care of the fans that you have, and I think they're starting to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, like the Filoni and Favreau thing, like wasn't sure how that was going to work when Mando, like before.
I say it all the time, or like I've talked about it before. Like the moment I saw Grogu at the end of episode 1 of Mando, I knew things were fine with Star Wars, and I haven't been worried since. Like I've never been worried about the direction of Star Wars since the moment I saw Grogu.
Yeah, man. I honestly these you guys that just only do Star Wars. I don't know how you do it because like
I gotta say, man, I wanted to do Multiverse of Madness stuff so bad. So I was glad you hit me up to talk about this stuff with you, man. Because
I saw it, I can feel it.
I'm telling you, bro. Like I went through Comics Explain's 9-hour freaking Secret Wars run where it goes from Hickman's Avengers and
you went through the whole thing.
All the way through, man. It's I low-key didn't listen to the end because I fell asleep and such, but it's so good, man. I can't wait for what they're doing with it.
Man, I want to do this video. I got the script done. I might take a break though. Maybe we'll come back at it Thursday.
For everybody in the chat too, if you've never seen that, first of all, do yourself a favor, check out Comics Explained, because that dude
Rob
was some
Portman.
freaking fantastic content. But
Comics
that
Explained,
Secret Wars run, whoo, is good. It's good.
Comics Explained, and then he dumbs it down a little bit for Geek Culture Explained too. It'll be like maybe half hour at the longest. I didn't even know
you had that.
That's you haven't seen that one too? That's
I'd watch. I go straight in for the 9-hour one.
I was doing that when I was working at home more because I would just leave that in the background listening to it.
That's why I can afford to at work. That's the thing.
But now I'm all over the place at work. But yeah, man, it's I'm not hitting you up every single Tuesday anymore. But when the big things come out, I'm like, Sheiv,
definitely, man,
come to the dark side.
And I hope you I hope you go through Moon Knight again, man, because I already started rewatching some of the episodes, and there might be more to pick out of it watching it a second time than going through the first. And I think that show is gonna. It's a very strange show, obviously, especially once you get to episode 5. But I think if you watch through it again, I feel a lot of fans are gonna have a maybe special place for that, and it's hard. I honestly think Loki is probably still the best show.
Oh yeah,
not Loki, but Loki is the best show. You know what I mean? And I think Moon Knight is not too far behind it. Maybe even next to what's it called? It's WandaVision.
Right. So you got WandaVision up there. WandaVision's not even one of my favorite
WandaVision
ones.
Scaled up and down for me, and I really liked Hawkeye, which I know a lot of fans didn't really love Hawkeye either. But I liked WandaVision a lot. I loved how much the fans got intrigued with all the little Easter eggs, even if it was like not really what we all thought it would turn out to be, or the finale wasn't as fascinating. That stuff led into what we got in Multiverse of Madness. So it's
people saying that just are not fans, basically. Like,
so for me, WandaVision is definitely like. I wasn't a big fan of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I love the characters, and it was a fun show for what it was. But like, I felt like they could have done so much more, like so much better. Hawkeye, like I said, I liked it a lot more than some of the other fans. What else has come out? What If? That show was fantastic. So maybe that's one of the best ones. But I don't know. I really liked Moon Knight. I think it's one of my favorites.
I honestly, this Ms. Marvel one, I'm pretty sure, unless they do something wild to get my attention, I'm pretty sure this is just a kid's show. I'm not going to be into it. I don't know. I'm probably going to watch it. Ms. Marvel is going to be the next one.
Oh, yeah. The fact that it's coming out congruently with Obi-Wan Kenobi is a bad sign.
Is it congruent? I thought it was coming out.
It will be.
Oh, wow.
I think. I know they did some like reworking of the Kenobi schedule, but I'm pretty sure they're still dropping one of the, at least after the first week. I think they're dropping on the same week for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get rough. I don't know. I don't know how much I'm gonna be into it.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting to me that I've always wondered how are they going to handle things when more stuff is coming out for Star Wars and Marvel. And, this is kind of showing us what might happen. Like there might be some less desirable stuff to watch for the MCU, and big stuff is popping out with Star Wars and all that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna shred any cows anymore. I'm just when I see a spade, I'm calling it a spade. Like if you think that Wanda wasn't a villain after that show, then you don't know what you were watching, or you didn't watch it. Like
I thought she was crazy. I was hoping the redemption arc would be real, and going through that, like I feel like they've done the main thing. I feel like they've tried to do well in the MCU shows and whatnot, like, or at least the theme in all of them is that these characters at the end of the show go through this like emotional journey. I feel like they did a really good job with Wanda's, especially the last 2 episodes, kind of giving you the real impact and emotion of how freaking wild her life's been, whether it's the bombs that her brother and her had to basically sit next to for like a week, and like her parents dying right in front of her, and then losing the love of her life, and just she's been through so much trauma, and I feel like they really portrayed that well in WandaVision. And it's even with Moon Knight, they did that kind of a thing. Loki has his moments where he's going through emotional trials and tribulations. They all have like big, emotional changes in their lives and impacts.
Bro, you know why I can't, like, out of all this, what I'm most anticipating for the next like month is predictions in Star Wars Santa's. Like watch party in the morning. That, honestly, like I love that so much.
I don't know how he has to rig it. Like I don't understand. And it's gonna be weird for Obi-Wan Kenobi because we
got the champ in the chat right now. Like Ducky Momo. You're going, wow. I skipped like
we all know the leaks. Like
what was it before
so weird?
Before the Bad Batch, I came in like halfway through the season before I figured out about it, and then I missed 2 weeks of the Bad Batch by accident.
I missed one, and it showed.
I'm coming for you, bro. I'm coming for you. I'm taking this.
I'm excited for it too, though.
I got to the point where I just start looking at Sheiv's numbers, and I'm gonna be Sheiv this week.
Yeah. You always give me shit when you beat me. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, anytime I get the W, I'm letting you know. All right, man, but it's about that time.
Yeah, man. If we think about anything more, Multiverse of Madness, I'm definitely down to talk about this movie even more in another stream at some point. I mean, dude, Multiverse of Madness is one of the best MCU movies to date. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I don't know what you're doing if hanging out in the spoiler thing, you haven't seen it yet, but much love for having me, man. It was definitely a blast talking with you about it today. Definitely gotta.
And I've seen there's been like 9, 10, 11, 12 people in this chat. Sheiv is like 56 away from monetizing his channel. Little guy Sheiv from the Discord, Nerd Ventures. He's coming up in the world. So like if each of you gets like 5 friends to subscribe, he's monetized right there.
So close. So close. Dude, I appreciate that.
Let's go. He's got the hours.
Don't forget to subscribe and share Best Guard Boner too. Your boy over here has been working. I see the videos. They be freaking lit. It's good, man. I appreciate you.
Circles under my eyes, sweat in my brow.
You see mine.
All right, man. On that note, it's been good having you back. Maybe a conclusion of Kenobi if you're not losing your mind already. We'll talk some more. Somewhere in the middle. We'll figure something out.
Definitely going to be busy coming up with it and everything coming out. But you definitely know I'm going to be open and down to probably streaming at some point throughout the process of it. And if not, we could definitely do one probably a week after in the aftermath. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We'll bring Kendall Kang Davis back in here too.
That's what nice little 3-way we got going.
Yeah, man. Maybe we'll make some new friends too. Who knows? But
who knows? We'll find our way.
It's been real, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you're live, thanks for popping in on the replay. If you're not, this is
smash Green that Bear. Like button. It's green.
Yes.
My bad.
Yes, smash that. It's Green Bear.
I'm probably gonna be streaming too before we head out of here. So at some point, make sure go check out Vader's Lair. Hit us with the outro, whichever way you are.
I don't even have one. We're just gonna do.
I know.